Hi, welcome to Programming is Fun. My name is Anas, and in this tutorial, I'm going to talk about a very important topic in C++, which is functions. So, without wasting time, let's begin. Functions are used to perform certain operations or actions. A function is a block of code which will only be executed when it will be called. And they are important because you can reuse the code that is written inside the function. And when you want to modify the code, you just modify the single function instead of changing the structure of your program. And you can also test the different functions individually. So let's make a program which will return subtraction of two numbers. The structure of writing the function is first data type. The data type for that is double. Then the function name. Function name is subtraction for subs. And then the parameters. Parameters are optional, but in this case we want parameters, and I am going to subtract two numbers. So for that, first write the return type double, and then give the parameter number one, and then separate it by comma. Always remember that. Then the second parameter double again and num2, and then the body of the function. This is the return type of the function, this is the name of the function, and these are the parameters or the arguments of the function. Now this is the body of the statement. The body of the statement tells the compiler that what does this function do. So here it will return only the subtraction of num1 minus num2. And remember that if you make variable result here, initialize it by num1 minus num2, and then write result over here. Now remember that this res means result is a local variable, and it will destroy it as this function ends over here. The local variable will be destroyed. It is not a global variable. If you want to access this rest over here, it will not execute here, and it will give you an error because it is a local variable and it will only be accessible inside this block or function. So make two variables here, int num1, and you can write num1 because this is a local variable. Num1 is equal to 10, and num2, not here, the semicolon comma over here, num2 is equal to 2. So how you can call the function? Just you have to write the name of the function, not the subs. S is capital because it's case sensitive. Subs and subs are different. And then you have to write the parameters. Here you can see that it is invoking that the enter the parameter. So the first parameter is num1. Write the num1 and then separate it by comma. Always remember that when you are working with the multiple parameters, you always have to separate it by comma. Right? Also separate it by comma when you are calling it. So num2, and then end of this function is semicolon. If you forget the semicolon, you will definitely get an error. Cout, and less than signs, and now you will see that it will print on screen 8. Here you go, 8. How does this function works? When we call this function subtraction, 10 will go here and 2 will go here, and the compiler will goes here. Then compiler will check the data type, and then check the function, and then check the parameters, and then these parameters will pass here to num1 and num2, and then these will be subtracted and return result. Then this 8 will be stored in the result. Now result will be returned by this function to the cout, and then cout will print the result on the console screen. So you can also make your functions void. Void means your function will return nothing. So for that, return, it will return nothing means void. The return type is void. If you want to return something, then it will gives you an error when your return type using void. So just int result is equal to this, and then just simply cout result over here, and then remove this cout here because we don't need it anymore. And now build and run this code, you will see that it will result the same 8 on the console screen. So let's build and run this code, and you see 8. So you can also make your functions void. Parameters of the function is optional. For an instance, you want to write over here cout hello over here, and remove this stuff over here, and then call the subs over here. Simply call the subs, and just build and run this code. You will see hello on the console screen. Hello. So parameters are optional, but remember that the variable declared inside the function is a local variable and it will created when value will be passed and it will be destroyed upon exiting the function. And you can add as many parameters as you want, but remember by separating it by comma as I did in my previous example. There are basically two types of functions in C++. One is built-in functions. These functions are also called the library functions. We do not need to declare or define these functions as they are already written in C++ libraries. And for an instance, fstream, iostream, string, these are the libraries and their codes are already being written in the C++ libraries and we can directly call them. And the second type of functions is the user defined functions. For example, this void subs is a user defined function. So to define your own function, you just have to write the return type. Then you have to write the name of your function. Always write the name which is appropriate and suitable according to the body of the function. And then the parameters, if any, and then the body of the function. You can also declare the body of the function after the main, but you have to declare the prototype of your function above the main. So this is the prototype of your function, void subs and the semicolon. This is the prototype. And you can define your function after the main, void subs parenthesis and cout hello. Now we will see it will print hello on the console screen. Hello. Now let me explain this code. How does this code work? First, our compiler will go to the main function. It will check the subs. Then it will go to the void subs, and then it will go to the definition of the prototype of our function, which is subs. And this is the definition of our function cout hello, and it will print the hello on the console screen. So it is not compulsory that you have to declare and define the function at the same place, but the main point and the important part is that you have to declare the prototype of your function above the main. So I hope that this tutorial was informative for you. In my upcoming videos, I will talk more about functions like recursive functions, functions overloading, and using arrays in function. So please do like this video and subscribe for upcoming videos. Until next time, take care, bye.